Good evening, everybody. Welcome to SimRacing Bible. Welcome to the channel. I genuinely hope you are doing well this evening. Because if you can probably tell from my voice, we've had a really rough week. So I hope you had a good Christmas and you got everything you wanted for Christmas. For Christmas, we got sick. So it's been a pretty tough week. So we're going to blow that away with a bit of AMS2 action this evening. And what a way to do so, because Reiza Studios have dropped quite a big bomb today in terms of content. So we've got loads to go through. We have plenty of stuff to check out. And so I'm super excited to give that a go. So I've withheld myself from driving any of the cars and new content this evening until now, because I wanted to share you my genuine raw feedback, my first reactions of driving these cars for real live on stream. So that's what we're going to do. So welcome to it. Good to have you with us. And let's get ourselves into it and see how we're going. So Frank's here already. He said, once again, we're waiting for Phil. Sorry, Frank. Apologies. Late again. I don't know. Someone needs to work on my time management skills. Evening for Sonic as well. Great to see you. We're here a little bit earlier than usual plan schedule. So the reason for that is there's a lot to get through. So I think we need a little bit of extra time just to help ourselves kind of give everything a good going over. So let's get into the sim now and see what we're dealing with for this evening. Get myself in here as well. Here we go. Right. So what have we got? So Reiza Studios have updated AMS2. We have a selection of new updates. We have some new content as well. Some of it is free. Some of it is DLC. So you have to purchase DLC. But there's actually 3 DLC packs to purchase. So there's a Brazilian Legends pack. And there's a Supercars pack. There's also a Historic Track pack as well. So there's a few different things. Lots to delve into this evening. So let me get my gloves on and we'll crack straight on with it. Welcome, Tish. Good to see you. Sonic says you're in for a treat. That's a good start. I'm happy to hear that. I'm sure it will be. I have no doubts, because Reiza do good stuff. So I'm looking forward to trying all the content out and giving it a go. Evening Funky, welcome along. John, welcome to see you, John. Drive the GTR. We will certainly be driving a GTR this evening. It's yeah, that's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. Right, so first of all, let's take a look at what we've got, and we'll work our way through it. So obviously you can see on the screen here we have a Corvette C8. So we have the Corvette C8 GTE car in AMS2 already, but this is the road-going supercar edition of this particular car, and that sits within a new supercars category down here. So the McLaren F1 LM and the Ultimate GTR joined the Corvette in a supercars category down here, which leaves the Camaro on its own in street cars for the time being. I say for the time being, because I'm pretty sure that'll get padded out at some point as well. So we have the Corvette C8, which is the first mid-engine Corvette ever, I believe, running a flat plane crank V8. Various colours, options available there, so we'll give that a try later, of course. So what we're going to do, I think probably the best thing to do is just run through, show you the cars which are in here, and then we'll just jump in and do some track action. So we'll start from the top. So coming down, down, down. First thing to show you is in the Formula Classic categories, which have been rebalanced and reshuffled, and some extra stuff in there as well. So we've had a couple of generic Formula Classic cars in here for a while, and now we have this, the Lotus 98T, which has appeared in a couple of other sims recently, or not recently, but beforehand. So we've had it in Assetto Corsa, we've had it in Project Cars, we've had it in a few other bits and pieces, and it's a real beast of a car. It's a big turbo-powered F1 car with loads of horsepower. As you can see, 1280 brake horsepower, which should be enough. So we're going to give that a rip later on, which is going to be super exciting to see that. And then, of course, we have, as part of the Brazilian Legends pack, I think the Lotus is actually a free add-on. It's not part of the... Oh, no, it might be in the Brazilian Legends pack, actually. But also, we have a selection of McLarens available. So sitting in the Gen 2 class, we have the MP4, which is a real legend of F1. We have, obviously, Senna and Prost racing in this particular car, and it's just a real icon of the sport. And then in Gen 3, we have another McLaren. This one's the MP4 5B. So a slight different iteration of the MP4. Some eagle-eyed viewers will notice the slightly taller airbox on the back there, as opposed to the flatter profile All that one there. So, yep, this one is V10. So we have the MP44 is a V6. The MP4 5B is a V10. And then in the Classic Gen 4 category, we have another new McLaren, which is the MP46, which is a V12 Honda, which is going to sound absolutely epic. And I believe Dom, who has been doing all the work on these cars, has really been putting a labour of love in terms of the actual sound. So I'm looking forward to sampling those this evening and seeing what those are like. Formula Retro remains unchanged in Gen 1, but Gen 2 we have the addition of another Brabham. So we have the Brabham fan car in here, the BT46B, but now we have the BT49, which is another of the Brazilian Legends Pack DLC cars. And this is a very forward-seated Formula 1 car with the legs basically right over the front axle. I always found these to be not the most prettiest of designs and look a little bit scary to me because of where you're sitting, like the first part, your legs are the crumple zone basically. But new Parmalat livery on there, of course, so we're checking that one out. Also in Formula Retro, in the Gen 3 class, we also have another Brabham. Oops, clicked through that too fast. The BT52, which is the arrow-shaped Brabham. So it's a BMW engine in there, and that also produces a lot of horsepower at 910 brake as well. So that should be fun. So lots of F1 cars to test out. And then flicking through further down, what else have we got to play with here? I think that's it as far as Formula cars. And then we get through to some more free stuff, which comes up here in the form of Group C. So Nissan has arrived in Automobilista 2, and we have the Nissan R390 Group C car added in here to have a little bit of a addition to the Group C roster and have some more cars to play with in there, which is always welcome. So this one's a nice addition. Again, high horsepower, but this one has a lot of downforce and just Group C goodness, basically. So that's going to be good to check out. What else have we got? GT1 has had its roster boosted as well with another Nissan, the R390 GT1, which is always good. This is a really unique looking car, really, and it was quite successful in real life sports car racing. And it's good to have this one in here. I know this was released as an official mod for a set of Corsa just recently, but it's good to have an official version of this car here in AMS2. GT3 is where we find another of the new Nissans, which of course we talked about already, is the Nissan GTR Nismo GT3, which has added an extra car to that particular class as well, which is probably one of my favourite GT3 cars, so I'm super excited to give that one a rip. Everything else stays the same. We also have the Hypercars class, which is part of the Supercars DLC. So in here we have another Brabham. This one is the BT62, one of the most recent additions to the world of automotive. And this particular car is a real beast as well. Another flat plane cranked V8, but this one is an awesome car. I've driven the one in Assetto Corsa, which was a really cool car, and this one should be fun as well. And another McLaren, the McLaren Senna, which is lightweight, still high horsepower, and just an absolute track weapon. So we're going to be testing those out, of course. And I think that's it. I think that's it, actually. I don't think there's any more than that, but please correct me if I've missed one. But yeah, that's quite a lot to be getting on with. So we'll check out the Corvette. There are a couple of tracks I need to show you as well in the historic pack. So we have now, where is it? Jerez. We have a 1988 version of Jerez to drive. And we also have a 1988 version of, oops, go up for this, Cascais, which is Estoril, basically. So different profile on the front part of the lap. The rest of it remains pretty similar, I think, by the looks of the map. So yeah, loads of stuff to be checking out. And of course, as part of this DLC, we're going to be getting an old version of Bathurst as well, which is going to be really cool. Right, so let's check out the Corvette first. We'll load in here. We're going to do some laps here at Watkins Glen and get ourselves up and running. So yeah, lots to get through this evening. Welcome RJ Bishop. Exciting day. It is indeed an exciting day. There's so much stuff to get into here. Frank says the GTR is a gem of the update. Okay, so we'll look forward to testing that one. Frankie says more H-pattern monsters always welcome. Of course, yes, we love a good H-pattern gearboxed car here at Sim Racing Bible, so always welcome. Kevin, welcome. Says hey Phil and chat. Huge update, eh? Wow, it is. It's a big old update. Lots going on. Frank says it's Kevin McAllister. Someone check on him. He's home alone. High horsepower, yes, lots of high horsepower additions in this particular pack. So this is going to be tricky. Right, Corvette time. Flat top steering wheel. I believe this is sequential. Yeah, it's got paddles behind the wheel there. So, ooh, we've actually got a head-up display as well. You can just see that above the steering wheel there. Oops, speeding a bit lane. Don't want to be doing that. Yes, you've got a heads-up display on the windscreen there, which is quite cool. Showing you what I can tell is obviously speed and then gear. Interior looks quite nice. It's got a nice touchscreen dashboard on there, so you can manage all your audio and stuff as you're driving. Not really. Right. Let's go warm up some tyres. Of course, this is the road car version of the Corvette. It's quite quiet in comparison to the GTE Corvette, of course. Lots more sound deadening going on in this car, no stripping out to make it lightweight. But it certainly does get along quite quickly. Down into the bus stop chicane here at Watkins Glen. Just taking it nice and easy to start off with, just to kind of get used to the car. So of course this is going to be on road tyres as well, so something to bear in mind. I'm not going to have heaps of grip, but we are going to have a reasonable amount, I would have thought. Down the straight and into this left-hander. Traction control is kicking in a little bit there. So it's obviously on factory settings, so there is an element of TC involved. How high does this rev? Pretty high. Getting a little bit more noise going on now. There's some very squeaky brakes, need warming up, obviously. Going up the S's, it's gripping through there quite nicely. Traction control working overtime on the top of the hill there. Down the middle straight here, so 160 kph, or miles per hour, sorry. Oops, too busy looking at the heads-up display and not for the braking points. Just, never mind the bus stop, we'll just missed that out. So initial turn in, it feels quite happy to turn into the corner. No real complaints from the front end. When it gets into the high revs, it does sound good, doesn't it, RG? It does sound good. Being mid-engine, of course, this should be very nicely balanced. Most Corvettes being front-engined V8 lumps, which make it a very different driving dynamic. So having it being more of a, well, having it being a mid-engine car makes for a different driving style altogether. But it does distribute the weight a little bit more evenly, and then, in theory, create a really nice handling car. Might have to turn the TC off and just see how dangerous this thing can be. Here we go then. Down to the bus stop. Let's try and get the braking done this time. Smash some curbs. Ooh. Smash the front end nearly. Thankfully there's some runoff. Someone please remind me that this is not a GT car, this is a standard sports car. Well, good thing is we have actually got some warmth in the tyres now. Now I just need to learn how to use them. Okay, well, the traction control is obviously there. It's keeping things in check slightly, but it's not completely stopping all things of oversteer. So you can still get it sliding through the corner, which is nice. It's nice to have it not interfere too much. Very wild driving at the moment, guys. This is Not my usual standard, but then still learning the car. And a little under the weather as well, but we're good. Right, let's try and get the chicane right this time and not take too much speed, and we'll brake at the 600 board just to make sure we're slowed down. Smash the curbs. That's better. Again, nice feedback through the wheel. Nice feeling of what's going on underneath me, and then obviously feeling the curbs as we go through the bus stop there. Frank says the thing's heavy and you felt it. You liked it a lot. Yeah, it does feel good. It feels nice to drive. It's quite alive. Not just a plain and simple turn it in, put the throttle down and off you go kind of thing. It takes a bit of driving as well. Right, I'm going to see if I can just... I haven't got a button to turn off traction control, so let's go back to the pits and see if we can interfere ourselves. Electronics, traction control. Low values allows more slip. Yep, so let's turn it off. And let it all let loose. Let's see what happens. It's got a pit lane speed limiter though, which is handy. So Matt says, well, welcome Matt by the way, he says you should be able to change the dash display with a keybind for different layouts. Ah, cool. So in the heads-up display or the actual dash on the screen. It might be quite interesting to see. So Frank says, one thing I've really noticed with the GTR and the GT1 Nissans, they seem to have more momentum, more progressive, with less authority on the steering wheels. Really good step forward. Oh, cool. I'll definitely pay attention to that when we drive those. Right, so we've got cold tyres again, which you can really notice actually when you come through the first of the corners going up the hill here. Now we have no traction control whatsoever, and because we managed to keep the car on track quite happily on the first run, this should be easy. Right, feed it through the bus stop. Gentle, nice and easy. Let's wait till we get some tyre temps going on so we at least stand half a chance. Nothing like a big long corner to try and warm up one side of your tyres. So the TC sound has disappeared, obviously. Now the thing starts to be a little bit more playful. Let's see how we go on this next lap here. We'll get it slowed down early, because it's a road car and doesn't have GT stopping distances. Oh yes, that's better. Now we're talking. That was fun, just holding on to it through there. It's quite nice actually. That slide was quite easy to keep control of. You can just feed it a bit more steering lock and then play with the throttle and you're all good. Yeah, a little bit of understeer through there, but then that corner just induces it. Okay, this is where things start to become a little bit more interesting. Let's check it in here. In fact, it actually behaves a bit better without the TC interfering. It actually feels like it's got more grip, actually, without the TC on, which is interesting. That's so good. I mean, it's a cambered corner, that one, so it does pull you in quite nicely, but yeah, that was really fun. So Corvette obviously is built by Chevrolet, and they have a bit of a relationship with AMS2 anyway, so it's no real surprise that we have the C8 here in AMS2, because we have Chevys in the stock car series. Oof, it's an expensive accident. Right. So you can buy it. That's what happens when you're not paying attention, Phil. Yeah. So it's good to have the street car version of the Corvette in game. And it's actually quite nice. I actually really enjoy driving that. I know it's, you know, not everyone wants to drive road cars, and I appreciate that, but it gives people options, and that's one of the things with AMS2. It gives options for various different cars and different series, types, all sorts of things to drive and have fun with. But this is a really nicely done road car. Okay. Let's damage it some more. Never mind, mate. All right. Okay, well, that's fun. That is fun. Let's move on. So Personic says, with a new version of Bathurst coming, you do realise you have to update your every car Bathurst series. Won't take long, I'm sure. Yes, well, actually, with all these new cars, there are some things that we needed to do, so we're going to have to revisit that. So maybe we might do some more of that tomorrow. So that might be fun. Right, so that's the Corvette. Let's stick with the road car kind of thing for now. Let's get those done. So let's turn our attention to the hypercar category. Let's have a look at the Brabham here. What colours have we got? So obviously got plain. I think that might not be plain. It might have stripes as well. But this is the Brabham colour that I know of, the gold with the green. So we're going to run that one. Right. Let's find somewhere else to take this particular car to. Where should we go? I feel this needs something with a bit of space to be able to let it loose. So let's do Hockenheim. I'll give that a test and see what happens. So yeah. What's going on here? So Kevin says Snedden 300 is missing textures after update, and for me and others in Reiza forums, no track visible, kind of hard to drive. Oh, okay. I remember we had some issues with walls missing on the ovals not too long ago. I think that's since been fixed, but yeah, that's interesting. Not quite sure what happened there. Right, the Brabham. This is a little bit more track focused, this car, so I can already tell from the idle noise it sounds pretty beastly. Now this thing should sound like a V8 supercar. Oh, that's cool, we got a camera on the actual dashboard in front of us, that's nice. Oh, see, it's lots more carbon going on here. We got a full roll cage. This is a little bit more purposeful. Ooh. Hello. No traction control to disable on this car. Yeah, there's that kind of very familiar sound. On low revs, it sounds very similar to the Super V8s, which it does in real life, so slightly different on the top end of the road range. Into the hairpin. Right. Revving all the way up to 7.5 or 7.75 thousand RPM. It's feisty. So I don't know if this is running slicks. I think it's running like hypercar tyres, which are still treaded, but very, very wide and probably quite sticky anyway, but it's not full slicks, I don't think, anyway. I did run these cars in the Brit Car Endurance series as well, I believe. So they have like a race version of the Brabham, and I believe they're trying to run them in Is it GT2? Okay, well this thing is quite the animal. Into turn 1 here at Hockenheim. Skating out of there a little bit. Into second. Rear end is very active at the moment. Interesting is noticing the shift lights on the dash there, so they actually change colour. I know they change colour into the middle, they go green, orange, blue, but if you watch the two green ones, they actually go from being, where is it, 2 green to 2 orange, and then all the blue. So it's not just colours in sequence lighting up, it actually has actually changes colours to show more of the higher rev range colour, which is interesting. Small details, of course, but just caught my eye for a moment. Into the stadium section, backing it in. Hey Yossi says, has there been any info if there's any plan for LMH or LMDH in AMS2? I've not heard anything, but we've got the DPI, so oops, I wouldn't be surprised if there is potentially something in the works, but the guys at Reiza seem to be quite full on projects at the moment, so I'm not sure what they're working on behind the scenes, but there seems to be plenty to keep them busy. But it'd be cool. It's always worth having some of the more modern stuff available. Just trying to be really careful with the throttle on the exit because I know how easy it is to spin those rear wheels, so well, this is obviously branded as being a hypercar, but it does very much drive more like a thoroughbred race car than a road car, if you like. But then that's the kind of the car that it is, really. It's not geared to be your poodle around, go down to the shops, buy a loaf of bread type car. It is very much geared towards the track day market. So people will be bringing their expensive toys out on track to play with them. And I'm pretty sure if you owned one of these, you would have an absolute riot out on track. Front end seems quite reluctant almost to turn into some of these corners. Maybe I'm just going in too quick. Always just cure it with a bit of right foot and off we go. And for a reasonable length Grand Prix track, we're getting through these laps pretty quick with this Brabham. It's rapid. Well, this is fun. Again, it's probably not going to be everyone's go-to car. Not the first thing everyone gravitates towards when they try out the new release, but it's going to be worth a go anyway. But it's nicely balanced. I mean, I said it was kind of pushing on a little bit in the corners, but when you do push on and the back end comes around, obviously it's reasonably controllable. It's not meant for sliding around properly anyway, but just like there, you can just balance the car through the corner. Steering's very light in this car as well, and compared to the Corvette, it does feel a little bit lighter on the force feedback front. Might be a different power steering system. It's a little bit better into the penultimate corner there. No, that's nice. I like that. It's cool. It's got the elements of the sound there that I was kind of expecting you to hear with the V8 supercar kind of sound to it. It's got a lot going on the overrun or on the downshifts. I don't know whether that's crackling or yeah, it's an interesting kind of noise, but yeah, it's quite a good driving experience. That's the main thing. Okay, let's check out the other hypercar, shall we? So, Funky says probably not enough luggage space for a loaf anyway. Yeah, that's probably true. You have to put it on the seat next to you if there is one. Didn't even check that. Frank says heads up for the McLaren Senna later on, which is next. It's plain weird in my opinion. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see how that goes then. Kristanos, welcome. The Brabham. What do you think about the mod support this game might get? That is good news. I think. I mean, Reiza Studios have always been open to modding anyway, haven't they? I think it's good that they're working on a way to try and allow some form of official modding support for the title, because I know people have got things in there before now. It's not the easiest of things to do, and the Madness Engine's not made up for modding anyway, but I think it's good. I think it can only really help. I mean, the content that Reiza are putting out is always really good. And there's always going to be people out there who want to add something of a particular class into it or whatever they feel may be missing. So, yeah, I think it can only be a good thing. Right, what colour do we go with for the McLaren Senna? Obviously, there's the Senna orange. Let's I quite like the blue actually. Let's drive the blue one. We'll take it to Hockenheim as well, just as a comparison. See how we get on. Even Kevin, good to see you. Welcome along. Welcome to everyone who's watching. If you're new here, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining in this evening and for sharing in with my first drive of the new content for AMS2. I hope you enjoy what you see, and I hope you have a good evening watching along. And feel free to comment. Let me know your thoughts, what your favourite things are about the new content, what your favourite car might be, or track, whatever it is. Feel free to get involved. Let me all know what your thoughts are. It's good to hear from you guys. And if you are new here and you enjoy what you see, do you consider hitting the subscribe button? It's entirely up to you, but if you want to see more of what we do, then it's there for you guys if you want to. Ian Philippe, bonsoir. Good to see you. So, Tanksy says, what is all new and any of it free? There is free content. We went through it at the beginning of the stream. There's a few new free cars and there's some new DLC cars as well. So, here we go then. This is the Senna. So Frank says, Kev, I mixed you up with Kevin McAllister. This is why we use the QR Kevin. So Cristiano says, personally I'm pretty excited about it. I expect VRC to be on it. This is the modding, by the way. Because they managed to get a mod of the LMP 900 Cadillac into Project Cars 2, so they have the knowledge. Yes. Okay, right, so a slightly different engine note for the McLaren Senna. Let's do a quick sound check. Okay, sounds pretty good. Let's go out on track. Again, beautiful looking model. Carbon fibre everywhere, just plastered with carbon fibre. Let's see what this is like on track. Whoop. Woo. I think it was it 890 horsepower from this thing, so plenty of get up and go. Let's see if we can find what Frank feels is weird about this car. Hey SimRacers, Merry Christmas to you too. I hope you had a great Christmas. Ooh, 6 gears long. Hey Marty, everyone's here, it's great to see you all. Okay, acceleration is pretty good. dashboard is showing in kilometers an hour on the car, but miles an hour on my heads-up display, hence the different numbers. So this car, from what I've seen of videos of it on YouTube and people driving it, it's supposed to be a real driver's car and have just an insane amount of grip. So let's see. Of course, we have the rather large rear wing on the back of the McLaren Senna, which I think is movable. I don't know whether it is in the game, so we might have to have a quick check and just see. Let's change our view here. There it is. Oh, listen to that. Yes, it is movable. Look at that. So the wing moves up when you're in the braking zones to help with downforce and stopping distances, and then flattens out as you go quicker. Look at that moving on there as well. That is wicked. Ooh, it's got a bit of what's the word? It's DSG gearbox trumps going on there when you on the downshifts. Right, let's get back in car. It's all rather serene and quiet in here, isn't it, compared to outside? It sounds good from the outside, though. So, Frank says, Phil seems to have a nice handle on this. It's not the first time I needed to sit down for an hour or so with a riser release. Yeah, it's not too bad so far. Obviously not pushing on particularly hard. It's quite oversteery. Feels quite loose. The force feedback actually feels different. It feels different compared to the other cars. It feels a lot smoother. Not as if it's not muted in any way. It's just it feels just smoother, really. Let's check it in here. Let's see if we can get a bit more pace going on and just unlock the driving potential of this McLaren Senna. That was nice through turn one. Using all the air brake into turn two, and a little bit more. Definitely dancing around a little bit. So Frank, you reckon it's a bit slippy slidey and somewhat nervous on the steering. It is very slippy slidey, I'll give you that. It's not too nervous. I think it's quite... I missed the hairpin again. It's quite direct on the steering, I think. It's might have a very direct steering rack. Whoops. Don't need that 150 port anyway. So the kink's not flat out in the Senna. Well, it might be if you get the line right. Stop! Paying attention to chat too much. Okay. Well, it's quite nice. I think it's a really cool addition. It's showcasing a little bit more as well with the active aero. Does it have DRS, I wonder? Obviously it's activating on its own anyway, but I wonder whether there's a... Yeah, that's pretty loose through there. So it's catching up a little bit here, so Simracing says, I'm saying the Brabham pops and bangs on over, and yes. I need to listen to that on the outside, actually. We might have to do a external test with that as well. Yeah, that's what they call them, Cristianos. That's exactly what I was referring to. Yeah. That's what it is. So Kevin says, is F1 Classic Gen 4 a new gen? Yes, they've added another one, I believe, haven't they? Yeah, they did. So Kevin M says, this model come with brakes? Apparently not. Or at least I'm not using them correctly. Yeah, handling's quite nice. You can throw it into corners like that and get away with it, just about. Feels like there may be some traction control, but you're maybe not hearing it. So let's just have a quick look. I mean, by the way it's slipping and sliding, you wouldn't think there's any traction control on, but it just kind of seemed to have something kick in, which stopped. Yeah, it's got 10 traction control 10. Turn that off. All right, let's. Do we dare try this? So this is the McLaren Senna without traction control. Yeah. So Frank says, with new releases, it makes sense for Reiza to rearrange with the classes. Yeah, they're just balancing out performance to make all the new cars sit in better. Okay. Well, there's the power. Let's just try and tiptoe out of turn 2. So even on traction control setting 10, it's still allowing you that much slippage from the rear. Then you turn it off, and it's just all at once. It's just barely touching the throttle. Oof. This is a very different animal with traction control turned off, which is probably why you wouldn't. Yeah, probably best leaving that on for a driving experience. For a challenge, turn it off for sure, but okay. Well, that's the McLaren Senna. Again, we'll just do a quick run through of the cars and then drive them through and give our thoughts on them, and then we'll also look at maybe revisiting some of them and just checking them out from the outside, maybe doing some races or whatever, so we'll see. So next, that's the hypercar class done. Let's go up to the top here then. Let's work our way down from here, because I want to get through these these new Formula cars. So here we go. First new Formula car, which is a free edition, I believe. Oh, I mentioned that already, but it probably isn't. It actually might be in the Brazilian professional. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called now. Brazilian Legend Series, whatever it is. I can't get my words out. Come on, Phil. Head's broken. Lotus 98T. Because obviously McLaren Senna just wasn't enough in terms of power and just ultimate undrivability. So for this one, we're going to have to go to Jerez. We're going to go to the 88 version of Jerez and try again. So yeah, so brain mashed, reloaded, rebooted. We should be okay now. So Kevin says it would be good if they put an approximate year against each class. Yeah, so you can kind of piece together slightly where they are, but yeah, it'd be nice to have a year estimation. So Kevin says, agree KB, I'm not an expert on auto history aside from BTCC. You know, for the longest time, I used to associate years with who won the BTCC that year. So 1995 was always a Cleland. You know, you kind of, you know where I was in time by who won BTCC that year. Ridiculous. Anyway, let's Skoda says, handles like a V8 Escort. Yeah, kind of. I can see that. It's like it's got a live rear axle on it. I have to give myself a little wall shot. Yeah. Happy New Year to you, Skoda, by the way. It's very nearly the end of 2022 already. I don't know where that's gone. Senna Museum. That'd be something to visit. Right. Before we go out on track, actually, before we fire this beast up, I just want to just check. So go to the advanced settings here. Okay, so we're running at 70% boost pressure, which is kind of your standard race spec for the 98T, because anything higher than that was normally run for qualifying and then would melt stuff. So no, we'll leave it at 70 for now. We'll drive it in race spec and then we'll turn it up, because it just needs to be done. Okay, starter motor turning over the V6 turbo. Let's have a listen. We haven't even reached high end yet, but that sounds incredible. It sounds like you would hear it if he was warming up in the paddock before going out for a session. Let's go a bit higher. Oh, okay, right. Let's take this out. Except, I think I'm going the wrong way. Let's just go back to the pits a second. And, yes, he's pointing that way. Okay, that's fine. For some reason, I got my bearings all wrong then. Too excited about the sound of this car. Right, so this is the 88 version of Jerez, so we have a different bridge going over here. On the modern version, it's a really fancy looking pit building, but here we have an old Marlboro McLaren bridge going across the front straight here. So there's going to be some difference in how it looks. Okay, let's just feel our way around here, because Jerez isn't one of my circuits where I know particularly well. Oof. You feel that turbo kick already. Even in third gear. The tower on the hill there. Slightly different look to it as well. Quick through there. Where it tightens up again. Where are we going from here? It's nice to have an 80 circuit which doesn't have curbs which will break your spine. That's just third gear coming out of there, so if we were in the power band, goodness me. Oh my word. I think the last time I drove a 98T was actually for a video I did on the channel a long time ago now, where I tried to drink a mug of water in the time it took a 98T to get around Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, but while driving Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. So that was quite a challenge. Certainly felt very ill after that. Okay. Circuit looks nice. Okay. This thing's got some pace. We're only on 70% boost, of course. Still don't know where I'm going properly. It's not long before you have to get back on the brakes again. Oof. Come on, brain. Keep up. Anyway, so Frank says, Phil, Senna stabbed the throttle mid-corner to mitigate lag on the exit. Yes, keep the boost up. Somehow managed to hold on to that. No, that's too quick into there. It's quite, the circuit itself is actually quite nice. It's a bit more rough and ready. It's not as manicured and pristine as you see some of the modern circuits. Big cut there. Whew. This thing is quick. That's just... Okay. That is absolutely insane. So just to kind of catch up, because I didn't really see what you guys were saying there. Let's just go back to the pit box and turn some boost up. So you put all new content in randomizer reviews. That's cool. Alright, boost. Quali mode on. Okay. So Philippe says it's amazing this power. Sorry for my... Oh, your English is fine, Philippe, no problem. Yeah, the power is just, even on 70% boost, is huge. Really, really powerful car. Hey, Tojo. Any good news for this update? Yeah, so far, pretty good. Not tried everything yet, but we're working our way through it, and this is good. Right. Wish me luck, everybody. At least this time I know which direction out of the pit lane I'm going. I'm really not sure what to expect here. Okay. Luckily we've had some tyre warmers on because we come out of the pit lane with warm tyres. Get off the grass. What an absolute weapon this thing is. Corners come up too quick. Really, I should have taken this to Estoril, because that's where Senna had his win in this car, so got the wrong combo, but Nevertheless, it's good to see Jerez. Grounding out on the curbs. Well, I knew at some point we'd end up in the wall. My goodness me. That thing is insane. But beautiful though, look at it. Oh. Just lost in the absolutely ridiculous glory of this thing. It's no real surprise. You basically just... You can't use full throttle too often with this thing. Otherwise that happens. It's just moving around the whole way down the straight. So fast. Wow, okay. What an absolute animal. Love it. How it should be. It's not an easy car to drive by any stretch of the imagination, this thing. It's something which is very much feared. Anyway, wow, what a machine. Okay, well that's the 98T, which is just insane. It tells you, it is a handful, yeah, no kidding. It's just, oh man. It does kick in very violent and fast, that turbo. It's just, imagine if that thing had modern day anti-lag as well. It could just be, I don't know, you just have power for days. You just keep going and going out of every corner, but with the turbo lag, it just kicks in all at once, and you just got to be ready for when the wheel just snaps away from you. So, yeah. Oof. Right. Okay. Next, because we need more power, obviously. Okay. First of the McLaren MP4s, then the 4.4. Let's. Well, now we know Jerez a little bit. We'll stick to this circuit for this one, and go try out this car, which is. I believe Senna's first World Championship winning car. Yeah, one that's been cemented as an icon of Formula One, and pretty much anyone who knows Formula One will know this particular car. So, MFE Videos, welcome. Good to see you. Argentina World Champion. Oh no, when we started. Norway World Champions in chess. Oh, cool. It's good to know. So Cristiano says, if this had a modern anti-lag system, it would be a super formula car with less aero. Yeah, it probably would be. Interlagos or Suzuka would be nice in these Senna cars. Yeah, well, we'll do those for the next two, I think. Good choice. Right, so V6 again for this one. Honda power rather than Renault power. Let's have a listen. Of course, that digi-dash on the front there. All right. So this is the last of the big turbos, as Cristiano says. All right. This is a pretty special car. Let's try and see if we can do this some justice. This car absolutely dominated the championship, I believe, in 1988. Again, just get ourselves up to speed with the car, not going too mad straight away. A lot more drivable than the 98T, obviously, as you might expect. But off the corner, it's a lot smoother in its power delivery. Feels quite nice to drive, nice and solid feedback around the centre of the wheel. Obviously not very much steering lock, so you get an awful lot of force from the big slicks on the tarmac. I don't believe there'll be any power steering. Let's feel the car load up through the quick corners. There is still a little bit of turbo lag there. You can kind of feel it ever so slightly, not massive, but it is there. It's nice and smooth through there. It's close to flat, that one. It really is. Just still being super careful with this. I'm just trying to let my brain just catch up here. Classic Imola would be a great fit too. Yeah, it probably would be. It would work well. God, yeah, that's quick through that. I apologise for the lack of talking going on, because it's requiring a little bit of concentration. Okay, let's see if this is flat out this time. It is, you've got to get the line right though. It's kind of right on the gear change as well. Power steering from strong forearms. Yeah, that's the way. It's all the power steering you need. Speed just builds all the way through here. Oops. Too much of a cut. Get into the swing of the circuit a bit more now. Except that one. Tell you one thing, this and the 98T is going to be quite the challenge around Bathurst. When we do our hot lap around there, but my goodness, that car, oof, it's got some grip. Big difference to this compared to the 98T. 98T just skates around all over the place. This one, you can almost just feel it just sink down and just load up into the corners and then off you go. It's really good. Okay, let's have a quick watch from outside. There's that classic profile. I tell you what, my forearms are starting to feel a little bit more pumped up as well than they were earlier, so power steering's kicking in. It's just as dramatic to watch from the outside. So how open the driver cockpit is as well, you can see right into where the steering wheel is. It's cool to watch. It's such a simple and elegant design, but just so effective. Oh, the grip. Well, that's a properly special car, that. Sounds absolutely fantastic as well. All right. Yeah, no talking required. Listening to the car audio is beautiful enough. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's best to be quiet and just listen in. So, Yossi says, do you have any real racing experience? I do. Not much, but I have. So I've done karting and I've had a 205 GTI stock hatch car as well, so that was pretty fun. But yeah, not as much as I would like to, but yeah, expensive. So it's all good. So Reiza Studios, have you tried the Brabham BT52 yet? Is that one of the... Which one was that one? No, we haven't. Not yet. We're getting there. Right, MP45B. Next up, let's do what we were saying before. So we had Suzuka as one of the options, and then Interlagos as well. So we'll do Interlagos for the next one. So we'll do Suzuka here, or Kansai as it is on there. Kansai Classic. We'll drive this one around here. Frank says, Yossi, Phil uses the public road to his local Tesco's or Rice. That's never going to go away. The replay does look really good, doesn't it? When you watch the cars on track, it looks amazing. But yeah, obviously that's my daily experience to Tesco's, Frank, of course. Hey Rodrigo, how is the new content? Any good? Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's good. There's a lot more to cover as well. I'm looking forward to a good few more of these cars which we're going to be testing out. This is the MP45, so... Oh, listen to that. This is V10, I believe? I think this is a V10. You can just hear it reverberating in the garage behind you. How good does that sound? What a noise. So Dom has done work on these, and yeah. Amazing work, Dom. Okay. Where am I? Suzuka. Okay, this way. Honda's home. Can you imagine just pulling out of a garage in this car and just cruising down the pit lane here at Suzuka with this note behind you? Just kind of in awe and also fear of what's going to happen when you get to these cones. We're not even pushing on properly yet, but my word. No, I'm not sure that, I think this is, yeah, this is H-pattern as well. Just kind of taking this in for a moment. Oh, yes. Now this just gives you memories, doesn't it, of that one-armed lap of Monaco. Flat out through 130R, no problem. Where's the chicane? Oh, here it is. I was confused for a moment then. It's the classic version, so it has a slightly different chicane. Listen to that. All over the place with my gears. Just buzz the engine on a very expensive McLaren MP45. I'm getting confused with my gearing because it's just all happening so quickly. So Skoda says, my neighbours will hate me this afternoon. Turn this up loud if you've got speakers. genuinely have no words for this. Oh, beautiful on the eggs as well. It's a nice little balance of oversteer. You can see why these cars were so dominant. I don't like that last chicane at all. Guys. Honestly, that is sim racing perfection right there. That is so good. It's just... Okay. if you're a fan of Formula One, if you're a Senna fan, you probably already got this anyway if you're a Senna fan. But if you're a fan of Formula One, it just doesn't get any better than that. That's just honestly so nice. Listen to this. It's just so emotive. It just kind of brings all the memories back. It kind of makes you just imagine back in the day when these cars were just regular. You know, this is what you knew Formula One as being, you know? It looks so good on track as well, doesn't it? Hang on. We've got to watch that angle again. But from the right camera. Oh, I cut away at the wrong moment. Okay, guys, that is super special. I could literally just drive up more, but I'm aware we have more stuff to cover, so let's carry on. But goodness me, that is so good. That is so good. Anyway, the new VRC Super Tourers are quite fun. Yeah, I did see those. I saw the Honda and I was like, oh, yeah, that looks really good. And then I saw the Vectra and the Mondeo, and I was like, something just doesn't look right with them. Something just doesn't quite look right. They probably drive nice and things, but the interiors are beautiful. They've done a good job. But yeah, something doesn't look quite right with them. We have a winner. Yeah, no, I think this was definitely my favorite so far. That's incredible. So good. Frank liked this one the best out of Senna's 3 cars. Yep. That is fantastic. Rodrigo, now Monaco. So Cristiano says, if this V12 is good, imagine hearing the 96 Ferrari and it's 18k RPM. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go into Lagos and see if the V12 can top that. I'm a bit worried now. Into Lagos GP and on the Classic Gen 4 and the MP4 6. This is a really, really beautiful car, this one. It's got a really nice shape. I love this kind of 90s styling of car. It just, I don't know, just simplicity, but perfect. Anyway, all of the MP4s are great. You can change the aero parts, says Cristiano. Okay. Is that on the previous MP4 5? Didn't notice that. So you can have Japanese and European specs. Okay, that's cool. It's kind of similar to where they do the low downforce and high downforce USA Indy cars. Though we can't call them Indy cars, not allowed. Evening, Danort. Good to see you. Oh, I see what you mean. On the aero parts for the just on the touring cars. I see what you mean. Right, into Lagos then. MP4 6. This is the V12 edition of the MP4. So yeah, let's see. Donald says, staying at my parents' house till next week. Can't wait to try the new content. A little bit jealous right now. Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I can tell you it's definitely worth the wait. You'll be well pleased when you get the opportunity to drive them. Definitely that MP4 5. Right, so V12. Let's have a listen. Sounds good. Nice and neat all the way through the rev range. No nasty kind of obvious loops or meshes going on there. It's all nice and smooth, which is what we like. Right, let's test this one out then. Down pit lane we go here into Lagos. Yeah, 93 it all went downhill, didn't it, from V12s down to a V8. Not necessarily a bad thing, V8 is still good, but the V12s died out a little bit. Okay, nice and easy out of the pit lane here at Interlagos. And let's let it rip. Oh, that's nice and smooth on the power delivery out of that corner. At the Brazilians' home Grand Prix venue, of course, Interlagos. Ah, thanks, Personic. Thanks for the £5. That's very, very kind of you. And a very happy new year to you and everybody watching as well. Hope you have a wonderful New Year's. Okay, let's go a bit quicker. See the mural of Senna on the wall there. And salute the great man himself as we come past into the first corner here at Interlagos. Sounds fantastic. Leaving in fifth on the quick sweeper uphill. That was not your average cross gate from fifth to second, I will give you that. But it worked. My sick brain is not keeping up with these gear changes very well this evening. So Energy, welcome Energy, good to see you by the way. It says, where's the Brabham BT62? That's the new hypercar. We did that a little bit earlier on. We may have to revisit it because we didn't do an external sound check of that one. So we'll have another look at it. This thing's nice as well. I think I prefer the MP5, but this is still really good. The brakes are amazing. Yeah, they are. They're very good. Oh, thanks, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. Go enjoy your race. Thanks for joining us for the evening, and Happy New Year to you. A little bit of opposite lock on the exit of the hairpin there. So Skoda, you make a very valid point there. So I wonder how long Reiza guys have been working on these cars. Because I guess for them this is very important content, being Brazilian. It was definitely time well spent, I think. Handling wise are fantastic. Sounds are beautiful. Definitely worthy of the man himself, I think. Too deep. Yeah. I think actually this particular car is a little bit more of a workout for your forearms than the others. It's a little bit stronger on the feedback side of things, so my shoulders starting to feel a little bit from driving around here, and obviously that's kind of, I don't know if it's this particular car or not, but I think it is. It's the one we actually won here at Interlagos with some failure on the car anyway, and you had to use all his strength to drive it for most of the race and was just completely unable to get out of the car or lift the trophy even at the end of the race. Not saying that I'm anything like that, but getting a little bit of an insight. I mean, I'm going around reasonably quickly, but I'm in no way getting the maximum out of this car, I don't think. I'm sure there'll be more out there who can drive this thing so much quicker than I can, but even at these speeds, it does feel absolutely fantastic to drive. It's nicely balanced, it's got a good front end, and when the rear end steps out you can control it pretty easily as well. Yeah, as Sim Racing said, the brakes are really good as well. But it's such a capable car, it really is. It's yeah, no, that's good. Gearbox was shot, that was it, yeah, so we had to keep it in 6th, which is just insanity to be able to do that. Alright, let's have a quick look at this from the outside. Look at that. Although, we haven't got a full speed replay, so we're going to have to go back and... Or do we? We might do. Here he comes. Beautiful Honda V12. Well, see what I mean about the bodywork. It's just nice and simple. It's got the basic side pods, just smooth lines everywhere. Just, yeah, really nice looking car. Oh, the raspiness on the overrun through there as well. I mean, there's one thing about having it on full chat, but I equally like listening to cars on the overrun. I think they have so much more character in the overrun. It's popping and banging, or there's the, I guess the noise that you get as the car's trying to engine brake into the corners. It's just, yeah, really incredible. It's really good as well. Really good. I think I prefer the 5, but that's nice as well. So Personix has never liked the F1 cars until I drove these. Yeah. F1 has never really been my thing either, really, in terms of driving them, but these 90s and 80s F1 cars I can make exceptions for because they are good. I feel as overcome with nostalgia. Walker and Hunt, the chain. Yeah, definitely. That's just childhood right there. Just childhood. So good. Costello says his gearbox was shot. That's what we mentioned. Holding off the charge of Patrese at Williams. Yeah. How did they drive these around Monaco? I know. One-handed in most cases. Changing gears. Gargantuan going out. Yes. Very much so. Right. So continuing on with the Formula 1 theme, let's check out the new Brabhams, which we have here. So the BT49, which is in the same category as the fan car and the Lotus 79. This is ground effect era F1 car now. So we're going back in time a little bit to the 70s here for these cars. So let's have a look. Liveries is just your Parmalat options. You have 2 number options, 5 or 66. So very basic there. Let's take this one to, I don't know, let's go, yeah, let's do Imola. 70s Imola? 72 is probably a bit too early. Let's do 88 Imola. We'll try that around here. So we're back to V8s again. This is kind of the era of the DFV, DFY kind of engine, where that was very popular. But V8s were definitely the order of the day. So, I just have this horrible feeling this is going to be a real come down compared to the McLarens. I should have saved those. Anyway. Okay, this sounds very similar to most of the other Formula Retro DFV engines that we've heard in AMS2 already, so that's all good. Now Frank says, PK did not care for Monaco. It's like riding a bicycle in a living room. Yes, that's the quote, isn't it? Yeah. Some people don't like it. Some people get on with it better than others. It's ground effects time, says Cristianos. Yep. So first corner here. Completely flat out. No chicanes to deal with there. And then again, flat and sweeping around until we get to the hairpin. I think it's Tosa? I never quite remember the names of the corners here at Imola. No tyre warmers, so we have cold tyres, so something to bear in mind. The stack gauge, yeah, there's a huge stack tachometer right in front of us, which haven't really changed much in design over the years. Very iconic looking gauge. Oops. Didn't get that stopped. toast a corner. Oof. What did I say about the 80s and their big curves? There's that same design that we see at Jerez. Stop. I haven't got the same amount of grip as I had in the McLaren, so a bit of brain readjustment going on here. And I was going for the modern version. Right, one lap in the bag, we know where we're going now. Okay, relax, let's go. Major brake here, get on the brakes nice and early. Reasonable brakes, but even so, too late into that. Let's remember the chicane at the bottom of the hill. Of course, we've got a gravel runoff on the outside there, no getting away with running off track. Thread it through here so we don't break our wrists on the curb. Back when curbs used to actually mark the edges of the track, not something you aim for. Downhill braking gets you every time. You have to start braking before the curve at the top of the hill, I think, just to make sure we're all good. Oh man. We will get there eventually. We'll start to get to grips with the car. Again, good feedback, nice and strong around the centre, so no slack. To the top of the hill again. Really is a lot slower the chicane through here than modern day. Also got to remember the rear is a little bit wider than the front as well, so although I may feel like I'm missing it with the front tyre, the rear tyre will catch it. So there, I just felt like I broke way too early, so must be a sweet spot somewhere there. Quick through there. This is pretty fun. But obviously you can see there's very little in front of you. This is the car where your feet are over the front axle, or in line with the front axle. So, not a lot of car in front of you to see, so that means you have a pretty uninterrupted view of the road ahead of you. Still doesn't stop you from messing your gear shifts up. Let's have a look from the outside then. So I believe this is an Emerson Fittipaldi car, this one. Part of the Brazilian Legends pack. I mean, it's not a bad looking car, I suppose. I mean, from the right angles it looks pretty nice. I mean, very, very wide and low slung as Formula 1 cars are. But again, it's that simplicity of aero design. There's no little winglets all over the place. It's literally just you have a plain front wing, fairly flat body, and a basic rear wing. PK, sorry Chris Thanos, you got that wrong. PK Patrese car. Thank you for correcting me. My knowledge let me down there. Probably until late 70s, yeah. Sounds nice. It sounds quite throated, doesn't it, on the low revs? A quick little flick through there. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's nice actually to drive. You kind of get there, you can get used to it a little bit, and it's good. Once you get in the groove with it, it's good. But yeah, it's just a very different car to come through from the McLarens. Just yeah, a bit of adjustment. So Frank says that's the car Nelson was in when he thought up all the ways he could insult Mansell. Okay, so next new Brabham then, the 52. This one is the arrow-shaped one. BMW power, I believe, for this one. 910 brake horsepower, so more juice on tap. Let's take this one to Cascais or Estoril Historic. We'll drive this one. This is one of the new tracks in the Historic Track DLC, along with Jerez, which we drove earlier. And also coming along soon, which is Bathurst, which is fairly unchanged over the top of the mountain in terms of layout, but it will be less barriers, there'll be more grass banks and things, and lots of other things to catch you should you venture off course, which will be quite tricky. I mean, Bathurst is hard at the best of times, but ooh, we got some tramping on the front axle. Let's just see if that goes away. Okay. Engage first gear, and then it's disappeared. Right. Simracing's arm says, turn the boost up if you're brave. We'll do a lap or two on standard race boost, and then we'll turn the boost up. Listen to that. That sounds pretty good. Very different sound to it. Yeah, I'm going the right way. That's good. That sounds pretty cool, actually. I quite like that. It sounds very angry. Like it's going to just throw me off any minute. So this is a four-cylinder car, as Chris Thanos says there, with a huge turbo. 1.5 litre BMW. Back when BMW made F1 engines. This looks nice, doesn't it, the circuit? Again, cold tyres, so no first outlap heroics. Even so. Turbo bigger than the entire country of Portugal and produce yes amounts of boosts. How much boost would you like for your Brabham, sir? Yes. Right, let's try and build some temperature up in these tyres of ours, so we have a chance of unleashing this thing. So yeah, layout remains fairly similar to that of the modern one around this part of the track. Anyway, this is with the what is essentially the alternate layout which you get with the modern layout. which cuts out that tight chicane, which I don't particularly like anyway. And then they have this big sweeping final corner, which goes on forever. And then you can just boot it. 180 mile an hour already. 190. Too busy watching. Too busy watching the speed to notice where I was going. Tell you what, that gravel's pretty bumpy. In fact, I wonder whether we've broken something there. They do have the new damage model on as well, which is the mechanical damage. So if you do clout a curb too hard or whatever, you can damage steering, so worth bearing in mind. Let's try that again. So Christelle says, fun fact, BMW produced the first ever production turbocharged car, the 2002 Turbo, which was also in AMS2. Boost lag. So the previous Brabham, you know, you can kind of just say, well, yeah, it's pretty similar to the other Formula Retros in that particular series. Get off the gravel, Phil. But this is very much a different kind of car altogether. Certainly need to get the brakes on early with this thing. This is quite a tight circuit for this car. Alright, this time let's get the braking point for turn 1 a little bit earlier. Start looking at just how quick you're going. Brake at 200, I think. Tell you what, F1 cars back in the day were just mad, weren't they? Engineers just let loose to just do whatever they want. Oh man, it's definitely got more power than it does brakes. Okay. Let's go back to the pit lane then. Let's drivetrain. Again, still it's only 70% boost. It's just not enough. Okay. Dick Losking, welcome by the way, good to see you. He says the sound of this car is amazing. Yes. It's very unique actually, isn't it, really? But it's it sounds very nice. Now I have it wound up even more. I'm just not sure which corner I'm going to die on first. So this is full power time. Something ridiculous, like over 1,000 brake horsepower. Well over 1,000, I believe. And again, cold tyres, so just get ourselves into this. lines into corners. This is all about survival at the moment. There's the corner. Well, I got it further on the lap than I thought. So simracing says be careful of first, second, third and fourth with 100% boost. And fifth. Just any gear plus 100% throttle equals arm wrenching. This track is too small for this car. And then I don't think there's many tracks which would be too big for this car. Right. We need to just watch that from the outside so we can hear it. I mean, looking at this, it's so basic, isn't it? There's nothing to it really, is there? There's our crunch into the wall. Tell you what, people who drive these cars, absolute heroes. I mean, to be honest, I would probably drive quicker with 70% boost rather than 100% boost, but yeah, I mean, to get the most out of it, you really have to be very well tuned into the car and how you drive it. Leaving a good couple of meters worth of track entrance on the way into that corner. Oof. It does look very natural when the car goes sideways out of these corners. It just, you can see it moving around in a very nice way. It is a cool looking thing though, isn't it? And it's another unique car to bring to MS2 because there's not many sims out there that you can say you've got one of these things in it. You know, and going along with the Brabham fan car as well, so the Brabham did a good job of bringing us some very unique cars over the years. And there's us ending up nose into the barriers. Do you have a choice of tyre? I was just wondering. It's just slick or wet. Okay, right. Well, that's the mad Brabham. We'll carry on, and we'll do some more car testing as well, just to get through them because there's some more to still talk about. Anyway, Death Machine on 100% boost. Yeah, it is 100%. God, dear. So I don't know what it says. This will be hell for all the models of F1 season packs on the race department to adapt the packs with the new cars. Yeah, there'll be some changes to make, I think, for those who've done liveries already. Imagine trying to be smooth on the throttle and you hit a bump at the wrong time. Yeah, it's game over, isn't it? Right, so that's the sum total of all the new F1 cars. So my brain can have a bit of a break, or can it? Because the Power Fest isn't done yet. Let's take a look at some Nissans, shall we? this is the Nissan R389C Group C car, and we have some Calsonic liveries, of course, which is Nissan official liveries. We have a nice pink livery, which is as it was in time as well. So let's take out the Nissan and give this a drive. We'll take this one to... Let's take this one to Spa, shall we? We'll go with the 2020 version. No, we won't. We'll go with the 93 version. It's more appropriate. So, who loves a bit of Group C car? Everyone loves a bit of Group C, really, don't they? And it's good to see the extra cars being added into the class as well. So obviously we've had the Porsche and the Mercedes for quite a while now. They've added in the Corvette, and now we have another playmate, which is the Nissan. So again, let's take a quick look, because we're running at 80% boost pressure with this car as well. So still more boost to play with. You're a fan of this one, are you, Kristanos? The Fuji livery, the 1990s pink one. Right. So inside, looks very nice. Nice detail on the gauge. You've got some race tech gauges and a PI dash. Is that a warning lamp, or is that a shift light? I can see the big yellow one underneath the dash there. We'll find out. It is a shift light. So a very different sound to a Group C car. So you got the Porsche, which has obviously its beautiful flat six. You have the Mercedes with its twin turbo V8. The Corvette has a big V8 as well. And this thing is very different. I didn't check what it was actually I was running, but I think it's a V6. I'm not sure. I shall have to double check. We should have plenty of downforce to play with once we get some warm tyres. So Yossi says, with so much endurance content, when is Le Mans track arriving? I don't know is the answer to that question, but I've heard very strong rumours that it is coming, but I don't know when. But I think they're looking at options for more endurance racing features. The turbo V8, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm getting up to full speed. It didn't sound very much like a V6, so yes, an 8. Philippe, no problem. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year to you as well. You're very welcome for the stream. Glad you enjoyed it. Great to see you. Hope you have a good ride tomorrow, by the sounds of things. A 5-litre V8. Okay. Boosted to death. See you, Philly. Nice to see you. Yeah, so I think Le Mans is just a matter of time before we see that. Through the old bus stop, which I much prefer. Oof, bit of a hop over the curbs there. Dancer Rouge then. Don't know if it's going to be flat, but it is. Just if we can hold on to it. I believe that's part of my cooling system going down the track in front of me there. I might need that, so I might go back to the pits and reattach it. It's all in the aid of science, then, just seeing if we can go through Eau Rouge flat. So Cristiano says, wait, does AMS2 have high downforce package XJR9? It doesn't, although I'd love a Jag. That would be amazing. So Denot says they won't be allowed to call it Le Mans, and content creators might actually get in trouble calling it that, so very, yeah. Well, yeah, the the licenses with Motorsport Games for Le Mans, but we've seen in AMS2 we have Kansai for Suzuka, for example, or you know, Cascais for Estoril. So there are ways around it, but yeah, it won't officially be called Le Mans. It'll probably be La Sarthe or something, or I don't know, France Enduro. Okay. Get it slowed down just about until they come. And of course we're still on 80% boost as well, so not full boost just yet. Need to get used to it first. A lot of understeer. A lot of understeer. It's quite different to the rest of the Group C cars, actually, the way it drives. It doesn't feel like it has quite as much downforce almost, or grip. I know it's probably running low downforce spec, but it does feel a little bit more unhinged. Oops. Get it stopped. So, design, welcome design. So it's pretty sure Renato has come out and said that they can still license the track as Le Mans. It's probably down to the licensing of the event, so we can't run a Le Mans 24-hour official event. Oops. That's way too late on the brakes. Right, now, again, as we've obviously got a handle on how the car works and how it handles, and we're just an expert with it, let's put some boost in. Let's do that now. I can, there we go. Right. Yeah, definitely historic Spa suits this car better. Much better than the modern one. Yeah. No, the licensing thing's a tricky one to get around, isn't it, sometimes? No worries, Maddie. Thanks for joining us. Have a good new year to you. Thanks for being part of the stream this evening. Right, let's see what we can do with full boost. Only at a 20%, what can that possibly do? We'll find out. Yeah, quite a bit, it would seem. So this is the high downforce area at 9. Okay, it was one of the fastest on straights because of it had a massive boost and most aggressive power band. Okay, it's certainly pretty quick down the straight. The others must have made up some time during the corners then, because this doesn't have anywhere near as much grip through the twisty stuff. You can definitely hear the turbo sucking away. You can. It's trying to pull in as much air as it can possibly get from the Ardennes forest. Okay, let's just try and get a handle on this thing, because I'm sure it's going to be a good car to drive. We just need to figure it out. Might just be I'm just trying to take too much corner speed in. Which, incidentally, if you have an interest in trying to improve sim racing lap times, maybe check out my most recent video, which I just did and released yesterday, about data logging using VBox Sim, which was quite interesting just to kind of delve into the graphs of the data and extract where things may be improved. Okay, let's try again. This is not going to be flat out through Eau Rouge, so I'm going to give a little bit of a stab of brakes at the bottom, then back on the power again. This way through there neatly without catching any of the grass and throwing ourselves off into the wall and rearranging the front end of our Nissan. So here we go, down the Camel Straight. Don't quite know what I was thinking there in terms of breaking out the 100 board. Oh man. Okay. Well, let's have a look at it from the outside. I mean, it's a cool looking thing, isn't it? Typical Group C shape to it. It sounds quite nice coming towards it, doesn't it? I think reliability was the issue for these particular cars. I think the Nissan wasn't very reliable compared to some of the other cars. The Porsche would be the one to go to for finishing a race more consistently, but they have such presence, don't they, Group C cars? Bit of grass. Oh yeah, that's a nice sound when it's full throttle. This is me missing my gear and the chicane altogether. Quick pop of flames and off we go again. But it's nice, it's got a good sound to it. It's it'll take a bit of getting used to, I think. It's not quite this is going to sound ridiculous now. It's not quite as easy to drive as the Sauber Mercedes. Never thought I'd hear myself say that, but yeah, it's good. I do like it. But need some more time in that, I think. Okay. Next new Nissan is going to be our GT1 Nissan, our R390. So yeah, this is the livery options available for that one. We'll go with the Clarion car because I quite like the black and red. I think it looks nice. Right, where should we take this one to? Let's take this one somewhere to give it a really good run, really. Let's take it to Nürburgring GP. Let's do the V12 version. We'll try that. And so there we go. So Cristiano says the best way to distinguish the Le Mans spec is from the high downforce R89 is its rear wheel covers. Yes, so the extra drag resistance reduction on the side. The Sauber was known to be the best handling Group C car. Twin turbo just made the power smooth and easier to drive, not to mention more predictable. Yeah, it definitely feels that way compared to the Nissan. Okay. So this one, I believe, I can dispense with the H pattern for the time being. And we're back on the pedals, so let's have a listen. Again, I didn't check what the engine was in this one, but... Of course, as is the regulation of the time, they had to make road car versions of the R390, so there are some road legal versions of this car out there somewhere. Which is pretty cool. Right. You can see the reflection of all the carbon fibre on the windscreen there. Again, cold tyres coming out of the pit lane. So not expecting much in the way of grip on this outlap. The GT1 cars in AMS2 are very nice cars to drive. It'll be interesting to see what this thing is like in comparison. If I can keep it out of the gravel. Probably a third gear through there. The second gear is just causing too much oversteer on the exit. So here we go. Tyres are coming up into the nice green state, so they're becoming happier. This is the quick version of the chicane, so they're much nicer flow through here. Get on the brakes about 100 board. Throw it in. Hold on. Guide it through to the exit. And into the final hairpin here. This is another V8, this one, yep, 5.8 litre. Just trying to feel the grip going through there. Even Samuel, Reiza ending the year with a banger. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. All good stuff so far. Hello and good evening. Yes, good evening to you too. So Sam, did you already drive the Brabham from the Supercar DLC? A lot of interest in the Brabham. There's also a lot of interest in this gravel trap. Yeah, we did drive the Brabham. However, we need to revisit it because I didn't do an outside sound check. So you'll get to see it again. It's your favourite car in real life. Oh, cool. Well, that's good news for you that they brought it to AMS2 then. So again, the feeling with this car is that it almost doesn't feel the same grip level as some of the other GT1 cars in AMS2. So the Mercedes or the Porsche, again, used to feel quite stuck to the ground and on rails almost, to an extent. Whereas this one is, again, a little bit more lively, so could just be me. So let's see if we can tame it some more. Okay, down to the sweeping left-right section again. Let's see if we can get it hooked in and on apexes. So this one's better than that one mod. You're talking about the Assetto Corsa version. Hiya Dust, welcome along, good to see you. Welcome along to the channel. How much have I missed, he says. Well, we have one car left to drive, but that doesn't mean it's the end. We're going to be revisiting some as well. But it's all been very good so far. I've driven pretty much all the new cars from the DLC and the update as well. Been going from about 7 o'clock this evening, so a little bit to catch up on, but it's all good. I can fill you in by saying that the content that's been released is all very good. Bit of a spoiler alert for those who haven't caught up yet. The MP4 5 is quite mind-blowing. We're in the R390 now, the GT1. Starting to feel a little bit more of it, still not quite there with braking points and turning points, etc. But we're getting there. GJ Mace, welcome along as well to you. I've got to say, the cars drive better on controller now. Oh, that's good. So for those who use a controller to drive, if they drive better, then that's all good. Okay, definitely feeling a little bit more confident with the car now. Might just been just a bit of a readjustment needed, because I've driven so many different cars this evening. They've all been very unique in their own way, so it could just be a case of the brain being a little bit slower than normal to catch up and keep up with the different cars that we're driving. Normally I'm pretty good at jumping between them, but when you're not particularly well, it doesn't help. Okay, well, this is pretty cool. Quite like this one. It's, as I said, it's quite a unique looking car, this one. I mean, it's I don't know, it's got that swooping GT1 style bodywork on it, but has a bit of a unique look to it, I suppose. It's just that kind of squared cut off back, which makes it look a little bit interesting. Sounds good from the outside. Does look nice though as well, doesn't it? So Dust says, that's exciting. I'm loving all the cars I've tried so far. I suck at it, but the Group C Nissan was the car I was looking forward to the most. Now we have something of an actual Group C grid. Yeah. It's it's a difficult car. We just drove the Group C Nissan. It was difficult to kind of get to grips with, but a bit of time, I'm sure we'll get there. GJMA says, I couldn't drive the Group C Nissan at Daytona without the game crashing though. Oh, okay. It's unusual. I'll have to test that out offline, off the stream, see if that does that. But the GT1 Nissan's nice. Huge spotlights on the front there for nighttime driving, especially at Le Mans. Where I believe this car won. I think it won at Le Mans. If it didn't, it was very close to winning at Le Mans. Alright, well, let's go check out the other new Nissan. Now, no, Frank, you've been looking forward to this moment. I haven't been meaning to keep you hanging on for this on purpose, but I kind of wanted to save this for last because I knew this would be very good. Black Tiger, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate that. Welcome to Sim Racing Bible. Good to have you on board with us. Hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. It's good to see you here. Right. So, yeah, the next Nissan that's on is the GT3 Nissan. Now, GT3 is GT3, okay, guys. So there's a lot of people who love GT3 and there's a lot of people who race GT3 online, and that's fine. That's brilliant. It's very popular, produces reasonable racing, and people enjoy it, which is the main thing. But it's not for everybody. Some people are pretty fed up with GT3, but you know, it's still a part of sim racing, and it's good to have options available for those who want it. So we now have another option in the world of GT3, which is the Nissan GTR, and this thing is a real beast of a car. It's so much bigger than the rest of the GT cars, maybe with the exception of the M6, but it's just taller and it's just really mean looking. So let's have a look at the livery options we have. Of course, the Nismo livery. We have a black version of that as well, and I think it's like that's like the old GT1 livery for the Nissan, which is quite a nice looking one. So here we go. Let's check this out. Where should we go with this GT3 Nissan? So many options. Let's go. We need a proper GT3 track, really, don't we? Like Cadwell. Maybe not. Well, let's go Donington Park. Let's do that. Let's unleash the V6 around Donington. All right. Black Tiger says, "How have you only got 1,000 subscribers?" Well, I don't know. It's just how it is. But it's okay. It's all good. But every one of them matters, and that's the thing. All of our 1,700 and probably now 51 subscribers, maybe more. You all matter because you're all awesome. Phil does this all the time, says Frank. Says he doesn't want to keep me waiting, but does all the same. Oh, I knew you'd love it, Frank. So Black Tiger says, "You should have much more." I appreciate that, thank you. We're working on it. We're doing our best, and we're going in the right direction. That's all that matters. But yeah, we're not as big as maybe some other ones out there. But yeah, size doesn't always matter. So I'm going to tell myself anyway. Anyway, so yes, Sumo Power R31, R35 GT. Yes, that's the livery that we're looking at. Suzuki would have been a good shout as well. Definitely, we'll do it again. Whippy Whip says, Nord 71 not in game yet? No, I think that's coming next year. I think they're still working on that. It's got to fine tune the old version of Nordschleifer, so I think that's coming next year sometime, early next year. Right. Here we go. John's ready for it. Frank's ready for it. My H-pad and gearbox is not ready for it. I'm going to go paddle, of course. Okay, V6 turbo. Let's have a sound check. Oh, DJ Mason and Greg Snell, here's one more. Oh, thank you. Thanks for subscribing. It hasn't come up on there, so obviously it's all good. But thank you so much for subscribing, guys. You're awesome. Okay. Probably one of my favourite sounding GT3 cars, this one, just to let you know that before we get going. Just going to blindly close my eyes and accelerate. Okay. It's got that click. Now, my friend Gareth, who you probably know on the channel, he's been in a race with us before, is a big fan of the Nissan GTR GT3. And there's one video which I remember watching together with him on board the GT3. And he was accelerating through the gears. And you have that click as you go up through them, and it's got it, and that's awesome. Oh, that sounds so good. Into the chicane on the national circuit here at Donington Park. Black Tiger says, I can buy the game with all DLC, should I? So you can get it with the season pass, I think, which will give you access to all the DLC, which is being released basically. So you can do that way, which might be the most cost-effective way of doing so, considering how much has been released up until this point. So that's probably the way to do it. It's definitely worth picking it up because all the DLC content is really top drawer stuff. It's really good quality. And it's improving every time as well. It does keep getting better every single release. So this is obviously probably, I think this is the most modern GT car release for this pack, I think it is, because obviously the hypercars and things are the most modern cars in this release, but as far as an actual race car is concerned, this is the most modern one in the pack, I think. So GT3 cars are quite well sorted. So you kind of expect it to be quite well behaved on track. Oh, the pops and bangs on the downshifts are incredible. Nice sound on the overrun as well. Ah, Greg, your subscription thing's come up. Thanks, Greg, for subscribing, by the way. Down to Redgate once again. Get the big old GTR turned in. Oops, there is an apex there somewhere, and there. Completely got the line all wrong going down through Hollywood and Craner curves that time. But it does feel quite big, this car, in terms of its size and presence on track as well. I mean, you sit quite high up in comparison to some of the other GT3 cars out there, so you get a very different view of the circuit. Kind of look down on all these low-slung supercars like the McLaren, but it's really good. DJ Ray says would like the panels to come to GT1. Now I 100% second that. The panels it's a brilliant car. I love that thing. Greg says there's something magical about the sound of the panels. Yes. Maybe not so to the poor drivers who had to drive them. They had to pull out of, well, had to stop running at Le Mans, I think, at one point because of the sound being too loud for other drivers. It was giving them headaches and stuff, so. It's good to see a couple of the Panos GT1s still running in the Masters Endurance Legends Championship, which has dates around Europe and throughout the year. So it's always good to see them back out on track, and it's very cool to see such a unique car racing in real life again. But yeah, this Nissan, I was going to call it a Datsun, then this Nissan is very nice indeed. Oops, missed. So it's GT3, obviously. It doesn't mean, though, that it's completely glued to the ground. So you have got some movement. So when you come off the corners, it's not just going to be a case of you plant the throttle and then the rear end's going to stick and off you go. It's, as you saw there was a little bit of oversteer to deal with off the corner then. So it does mean you have to drive them, which is how it is in real life. But there is also a good amount of grip available to be able to take corners very quickly indeed. Okay, I'm going to break the sim racing code once again and change views. because I want to listen to this from the outside. I'll listen to that. That's the sound. If you've seen one of these live, trackside, that is the sound that you get. You have that crackle when you've got the traction control kicking in, and the popping of every gear change. It's the sound we want. So we'll do another quick lap or so, and then we'll watch it from the outside, from trackside camera as well. So the DJMA says tyre squeal sounds more pronounced now. I don't know. Don't know if it is. I'll have a listen next time we get on the brakes. Although I think it does disappear after a while once the brakes warm up, which is good. So Dust says AMS2 is, I think, is one of sim racing's best value propositions. It's got its issues, but it's got so much content into such a consistent high quality. I think it's a no-brainer buy on sale. Yeah, it is on sale, I believe, at the moment as well. But yeah, you're right, Dust. It is. It offers an awful lot of quality content for, you know, very little really in the overall scheme of things. And it's one of those sims where, you know, you can literally jump in and drive whatever you fancy. You can just go from 1 minute racing some karts to F1 cars from the 70s to modern day touring car, GT cars, you know, you name it, race trucks, all sorts of stuff. You can basically just do whatever you fancy, and it's all very well represented and good quality and just fun in general. So definitely offers a really good variety for any sim racer out there who wants something which might be a little bit different, but also ticks all the boxes. Oh, you mean, sorry, scrubbing in the corners, yeah. Yeah, possibly it is, actually. There's a lot of tyre scrubbing sound going on. Use the gears to get the thing slowed down for the corners. Darwin, welcome Darwin. Says lower the rear end on the Nissan to help with exit oversteer. That's a great tip. He's got too much rake. Might help with the rotation in as well. So we'll do that in a second. Let's just enjoy for a moment. Look at that thing. So good. It's more noticeable out of the slower corners, obviously, with the traction control kicking in, but it was always quite a quiet GT3 car as well, really. It's never as loud as some of the other ones, but it does have its own unique sound and presence. Oh yes, that's so good through the chicane. This is the sounds of it. Very, very nice. Right, well, let's just do that quick setup adjustment maybe. We'll do a couple of laps with that and see how we go. So suspension, ride height, rear, lower that by a few clicks. See what happens. So Stiller Car, welcome Stiller, says, just woke up, big AMS2 update, and 3 new DLCs. Yep. 3 in one hit. Spoiled. We are. When I saw the list of the dev updates when they were saying what was going to be arriving before the end of the year, I was reading that, I was like, well, we've got a week, so that's coming this week. So it's quite a monster update. You can see a Godzilla of an update. So now with our rear end a bit more squatted to the ground, let's see. Turn. It is a very iconic GT3. We should have taken this to Bathurst, really, shouldn't we? After that iconic win. This is actually the Bathurst livery, I believe. It's got the Liqui Moly logo on the roof, so I think it's the Bathurst livery. Jorge Ferreira, thank you very much for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the Sim Racing Bible. Glad you're enjoying what you're seeing. Verinda, hey Verinda, it says great content and Reiza always tries to improve. This is such a nice big update. It certainly is. We do get some good stuff coming through from the guys. Very rarely do we get an update where we're like, I don't like that. In fact, when I say very rarely, I don't think I can remember an update where I've been disappointed with a piece of content. I mean, there's some content which has come out, such as, like, say, for example, the VWs, which, okay, they may not have been earth-shatteringly, mind-bendingly incredible, but, you know, they all serve their purpose, and they're all good in their own way, and that's the main thing. But I think this particular update has definitely been a brain melter in some cases. I mean, for those who were there earlier, you saw it live. You physically saw my brain melt and then seep through my ears when I drove the McLaren MP4 I mean, yeah, incredible. Okay, I might need to lower that rear a little bit more, but it's still, yeah, it's a little bit better off the corners, so need some more work on getting that. But it's nice to drive anyway, so it's good. Okay, we'll do a quick check through, just make sure there's nothing else I've missed car content wise. We've covered the two tracks. We've got Cascais and Jerez, the 98 versions, 88 versions. So I think that pretty much covers it for new cars. But I did say I was going to go back and try and do an outside sound check of the Brabham and also the Corvette as well. So we'll do those now. Where should we take the Brabham? Let's take it to Bathurst, seeing as you mentioned it. This is where they did their first test run of the car, I believe. The first live public demo of the car was at Bathurst. So fitting to take it here. Skyline Design, welcome Skyline Design, says looking forward to Bathurst 1983. Yes, I am as well. Looking forward to seeing the Dipper without the concrete wall on the inside and just a grassy bank. It should be really fun to try and thread through there. And obviously when you come off the Forest Elbow as well, you just have trees. I remember that iconic shot of, I think, one of the Group C touring cars just either catching the end of the wall and then just flipping off and then straight down into the trees. It was, yeah, scary place back in the day. Right. Let's retry the Brabham. Let it roar at Mountain Stroke. The Skoda says, Reiza do deserve a lot of credit. The game has improved so much over the last 12 months. It has. Absolutely it has. I think it's, it comes on leaps and bounds with every update, pretty much. And there's more to this update than just the cars as well. I didn't properly check the changelog. I read it a while back and can't quite remember exactly what the updates were. I know there was some balancing of performance in the Formula Classic, and obviously there's the new Formula Classic Gen 4 class. Into your grip over the top of Skyline here. keep it nice and straight. Don't want any creases on this beautiful Brabham. It is a nice green, isn't it? Welcome, Todd, by the way. Good to see you. There's some serious stuttery issues going on there, but it sorts itself out. Hit the curb of the chase. So yeah, that little bit of understeer just as we get into the corner. With a nice little bit of oversteer on the exit as well. So Dust says, have you tried either of the new historic tracks 80s methods for the next year? Cascais or Jerez? Yes, we have driven both old versions of that. The historic version of Estoril is pretty tight. It needs to have a suitable car for driving around there, because I think we drove that with the mad Brabham turbo BMW car, and it was just not enough space. Little lift as we get through Reed Park. Definitely more controllable through the S's than the Fusca. More difficult, I suppose. Yeah, just there is where you'd expect those trees to be more prominent on the historic version. So Frank says, former Classic Gen 3 tyres, I believe. Yes, that's right. I remember there's some tyre changes, weren't there? And obviously there's the introduction of the advanced damage model. Mechanical damage model. For all cars. So be aware that you can have mechanical failures if you mistreat any of these beauties. This is a fun car. Right. Let's do that external audio check, shall we? Sounds like a jet plane coming towards you, and then you get this V8 rumble. There's an awful lot of reverb on the frontal view here, which then just disappears when you go side by side with it. It's the only observation I can make there, but it could be to do with the walls as well, maybe, where we are, but it's a pretty wild car. It's a lovely design though, it really looks the part. It's dancing through the dipper. Let's go chase mode here for a moment. Just enjoy that V8. The huge diffusers, and the tunnels coming out with the airflow coming underneath the car, massive downforce from that. Oh, the crackle and pop on the downshift and the overrun is incredible. It sounds amazing. Approved. Definitely approved. Right, let's do a sound check on the Corvette then. Yeah, definitely a great sounding car. Marty says VRC Toureur's pack is out. Yes, it is. We spoke about it a little bit earlier on. Not quite sure what to make of the look of the cars yet, but I was informed there's some different body packs on it. But I think it's just some of the proportions don't look quite right to me. I don't know. Could just be something else. Anyway, I don't think we drove behind the McLaren Senna, but we didn't do a drive-by. While we're here, we got time. Let's do another test with the Senna, and get a proper external cam sound of this particular car. So we'll go to, where should we go? Switch things up. Let's go to Kyle Lamy for no real reason other than we haven't driven there for a while. Such a beauty, yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that one, Samuel. Yeah, it is nice. It's a nice car. Hey, Mick. Good to see you. Goosebump. Oh, Boost Gumps. Yeah, that's a great sound, isn't it? Sounds awesome. I think all of the cars sound pretty good tonight, I think. Actually, I'm quite impressed with all of them. Right. Senna. The fourth McLaren Senna in the pack. Try Snedden for a laugh. Yeah, I'll give it a go. See if there's any textures missing from me. Is that understeer followed by mad oversteer? Whee! Have I still got traction control turned off? Because it feels like it. Hang on. Does it save my setup from before? Let's just... Yeah, it has. That's why it's uncontrollable. Let's just reset that a little bit. Give ourselves half a chance. Oh, Mick, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate that. Welcome. Good to have you with us at Sim Racing Bible. I've seen your posts on the group. You're rather rapid. So, thanks for watching and thanks for being here as well. It's good to see you. This is a slightly more serene affair with the traction control turned back on again. As we discovered earlier on, there's still plenty of opportunity for the rear end to break away on us, so we can still get some slidey action out of the corners. What I do like about this car as well is the active aero on the rear wing. Again, it's just another car to try and relearn again. Into the hairpin, down to second gear, floated out of there, a little bit of drift all the way through there. Don't think this will be flat. No. Far from it. Tell you one thing that is flat, my front right corner. Back to McLaren for a reshell, I think. Just got a rip down the straight here. Watch the rear wing open on the replay as well in a moment. Well, not open, but flatten out. 170 mile an hour before we hit the brakes into turn one. Add another dent, why not? Right, let's have a listen. That was awful sound checking, by the way. When I first saw the McLaren Senna come out, I wasn't really over enamoured with the look of it. I thought it was just a bit odd. I mean, it's not a bad-looking thing, I suppose, but it's just different, isn't it? Let's have a listen. Do you love the rear wing animations? Very nice. Can we see the driver's legs through the window? That's what I want to know. Let's see when it comes past this way. Yes, you can. It's good. Attention to detail. Yep. Sounds pretty good. Uh-oh. Again, just doing the marshals a favour and taking out the marker boards before they have to tidy up at the end of the day. That's what that's about. Just helping out. Yeah, we're very helpful people here. Simracing Revival. I mean, it's a pretty neat thing, isn't it, really? I mean, quite a feat of engineering, the Senna. But, yeah, very interesting look to it. Okay, let's go check out the V8 Corvette. So Frank was saying about switching off reshade recently, but the performance impact, can't remember the gap was that big. 30% difference. Must be something from my system. Yeah, so can't even get anywhere near doing reshade with my potato PC. So, yeah, wouldn't cope with that. Anyway, supercars. The Corvette. Let's take a different colour Corvette, shall we? Let's go torch red. Long Beach red metallic. Yeah, very nice. Let's do that one. Well, let's do snap. Let's see if it works. To the 300 circuit, you're saying it had issues. Let's try this. See if we have any texture issues, because was it Frank that was saying it? No, it was Kevin saying it had some texturing issues here at Snedden. People were saying textures were missing, so we'll check it out. See if we can spot them. Might be obvious, might not be. We'll see. It's obvious. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something that needs addressing. Oh, there's a wall there. There's a wall there too. Okay. Braille driving in the Corvette. So he's got to dodge the marshals, basically. So he's the guy in the start-finish gantry, so that means we're not at the end of pit lane yet. There's some spectators on the banks over there. Well, the bank's closer than I imagined. Okay, yeah, so Snetterton is broken. Not even the Copa Fusca could deal with that around there. Okay, let's take it to a track we can see. Let's do Long Beach. We're in Long Beach red, so we'll do Long Beach. Yeah, it looks fine. I don't know what the problem is, Frank. Yeah. All looks well. So if you are a fan of Snedden, then you might have to wait a little bit longer for a hotfix to come along to replace some of those missing textures. The track's still there, you just can't see it. Okay, here we go. This time with included textures. Right, so we have our traction control turned off, so it should be a nice thing to drive around here. Of course, we have the really long, elongated pit lane exit. We have to turn it around. It's one of those exits where if you turn across it too soon, it'll give you a penalty for crossing the pit lane exit, but It means you have to pull to a complete stop before you can actually turn into the first corner. The Corvette sounds so quiet compared to everything else we've driven so far this evening. Oh, it also has no brakes. Just a quick reverse here. Just exploring all the perimeter areas of Long Beach here, giving you the full guided tour. Now, got to remember you need to let this thing rev out because it likes to rev all the way up to nearly 9,000 RPM. Yeah, there's definitely some more tyre scrubbing sounds going on, isn't there? Very bumpy around Long Beach, of course. Even in this road version car. Although it will be quite stiffly sprung anyway. Hey Picos Bill, welcome along. Says, wow, HUD speed on the windshield. Yes, I've missed my braking point again, and we're going to go and introduce ourselves to the tyres. There they are. Yes, it's cool, isn't it? The heads-up display on the windshield. It's as you would see in the real car. So, right, let's see what those 4 exhausts can produce for us. It's a nice looking thing, the C8. At this point, of course, I wasn't revving all the way up to the red line, so it's got a different sound to it. But once it gets up there, this is me catching out the cameraman. Wasn't expecting me to go straight on there. So again, there's that reverb situation going on from front to rear as well. Need to hear it more from the rear. I want to hear that rasp from the exhausts. Oh, nice little slide out of there. Let's see if we can hear it down the front straight here. No. Okay, let's go chase mode then. Again, it's a very different, unusual sound for a Corvette. Normally you expect this deep, low, rumbly V8, but different engine. It sounds alright. I mean, it's not... I don't know, I think it's not clean sounding, I suppose. The reverb kind of just masks a lot of the noise that you hear. I mean, it sounds alright, though. It's not like it's... You know... It's not... what's the word? It's not offensive in sound. It's... yeah, it's alright. But, okay, well, that's covered cars and tracks, then. I think what we can do... We'll maybe revisit a couple of them just to give them another go. I think it's only fair. So I'm going to revisit. Let's do this. Let's do this, and let's do this at Adelaide. Because we like punishment, and this will be one of them. So, 98T at Adelaide. And obviously you've seen the videos of Senna going through here, dancing through the first chicane, and the car not being straight very often. So let's see if that's the case as we drive this around here. Probably find myself familiarizing myself with more concrete, but we'll try anyway. 100% turbo boost, of course. Does AMS2 have Fuji? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. Maybe in the future it might bring Fuji in, you never know. But currently, no, it doesn't have it. Okay. Let's survive Adelaide. Just squeeze the throttle, no sudden movements. Slightly different variation, obviously. Here you don't turn straight onto the back straight, you go through this extra little chicane and then you turn onto the back straight over the curb that caught everyone out in the wet. And then this one here again. Now we're on the back straight. Oops, slower than that. Shaking its head all the way up the straight. Through the ladder section of the circuit. Love the sound bouncing off the walls as well. Way too early on the brakes, but wanted to make sure we get into the corner. It's not too bad around here, actually. Oh, the Phil curse is back. All I have to do is just say, oh, this is going well, isn't it? Next second, have a wall. Blade, hi, welcome. You joined at just the right time. This is to see us lose control of a rather powerful Lotus 98T. But it's not too bad, you can kind of wrestle it a little bit around here. Well, front right tyre's feeling a bit worn out. Back end is kicking out as we turn to the right hander there, that was fun. a great sound this thing makes as well. Only 5 gears. So a couple of valves bent, maybe more than a couple. Oh, goodness, right. So hammered at Cascavel or Taruma. Wow, yeah, that'd be a real handful. We're playing Automobilista 2 on PC. This is the latest release for Automobilista 2, with various DLC added on as well. That's fun. The 98T is really good around Adelaide. That's definitely worth a drive if you haven't driven that already. That's really fun. I'm going to just watch a quick sneaky replay there, I think. Just indulge ourselves. That's what you see. It's that change of direction through there. That's what you see in the video. I'm not saying that I'm Senna or anything, but it's very relatable. Oh, the flames as well. So good. It's really full-on drive as well. There's the valve gone. So I see it kick out as we go into this right-hander coming up now. Oh yeah, we didn't get it stopped very well, but wow, that was fun. What a machine that is. That's so good. Yeah, that's so good. So, I think the other thing we need to try out as well, we have alluded to this in the stream this evening as well, but we need to do this, I think. Back. It's back. Where did I leave my brave pills? Down here somewhere. Okay, just inner peace, and then we can just enter that other dimension as Senna went into, and then just drive in a out-of-body experience here. What we need to summon as we take this beautiful machine around Monaco. And I just love the sound of it in the garage. Just listen to it. Alright. Let's see if my PC will handle this. Let's see if my brain will handle this. Very much point and squirt in that part of the circuit. That was close. Oops. There's a barrier on the inside. Missed the bump. All over the curb on the inside. Auto clutch kicking in. That's the wall. It's so easy to get tunnel vision around here. You just sat so low and the walls are really high up, so you're just chasing gaps. I was, and here's me being blown away by this thing around, where was it? Was it Suzuka? I tried this one. That is insane. That is so good. If you haven't yet done so, just leave a like for those laps, because that is just so good. All right. Beautiful angle of the hairpin. Not so good getting around there, but we got around there eventually. Too tight into that. Okay. I said it before when we tried this car originally. I'm going to say again, that is sim racing perfection. It's just so good. And that's coming from someone who doesn't like Formula One cars normally. I'm not normally one who would go out of my way to drive a Formula One car because that's my thing. I mean, I respect them and I admire them and I think they're brilliant in their own way. But it's not something I'd ever physically go and say, I fancy driving a Formula One car today. That could just change that for me, because that has genuinely blown me away how good that is. And just the feeling of driving it through Monaco. What makes it so good? Okay, it's maybe not so much the driving feel, or even those sounds. What makes that so good is the fact that for a minute, 2 minutes, you actually genuinely believe you're there doing that. And that's what sim racing is all about. That's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to achieve with sim racing, is that feel, that immersion factor of you and a car and a track and being there doing it. That is the whole purpose of sim racing. And for me, this combo and this car in general gives you that glimpse of that reality. And that is just incredible. Now, that's just my own personal opinion. It may differ for other people. People may feel it's too slippy or whatever. I don't know. But for me personally, this car is the absolute highlight of the pack, and honestly, it's just incredible. So good. But yeah. So Pekka, so just catching up on the comments, because I didn't really have a chance to watch any of the comments when I was driving, for obvious reasons. Says that didn't go so badly. No, it wasn't. It went all right. Only a couple of war clips, nothing too mad. They did nail it, didn't they, Darwin? You're right. They have nailed it. Pekka's need a milder after those laps. So Darwin says, all the cars Reiza made themselves are so much greater than the cars ported from Project Cars 2. It's amazing. Yes, definitely. They are next level special. The emotion indeed. The philosophical tour here. Yeah, that's it. Getting all emotional about it, because that's what that thing does. It brings you that emotion. Yeah, and then Pasonic comes in and says you should try it in VR. Yes, I should. I can imagine in VR that would just be, you wouldn't have any brain left, let alone a little bit left afterwards. It'd just be completely gone. I can imagine that would just be incredible in VR, even more so. His GTX 960 would die instantly. Oh, get it right, Frank. It's a GTX 970. Yes, it is a very old card, and it says in the I remember it says in the the G4 settings, it says, you know, suitable for VR, VR ready. It's like, yeah, but it wouldn't be able to do anything with it. That is really just so good. Okay, well, I don't really know if there's anything else we can do to top that, to be honest. So I guess I'll just leave you my thoughts on the pack, I suppose. So what it does do very well is, again, brings in content for all sorts of people who like the GT cars, who like the Formula cars, who like the road cars, and it gives you more variety in those individual classes. So like we said, it covers off more options for your Group C cars. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my mind back together after that lap. So GT3 is more filled out with another car. Group C cars are filled out with a more relevant car in there as well. So it kind of pads out some of the existing classes, which they said they were going to do anyway. They were going to build in additional cars and throw them into the classes which were a little bit thinner on the ground. And they've done that with this pack. And really, well, this is the last release for 2022, obviously being the 30th of December. It not only closes out 2022 with real strength, because that is a really good selection of content, but it also builds on what looks to be an even more exciting 2023, when you get a whole load more stuff coming our way. They've said that we've got dirt coming as well. We've got the Rallycross, which was in the original Automobilista 1, but hasn't yet appeared in AMS2, which will be coming next year, along with other content which is coming our way, which I'm sure, judging by the direction that they're going with the driving dynamics for the cars released today, is going to be even better as well. Even more good stuff coming our way. So super exciting times for Automobilista 2, and just, yeah, go enjoy it. Go drive some of these cars. Tell me your thoughts on them as well. Let me know in the comments afterwards which ones your favorites are. If you've got a particular one that you enjoy. I know Frank loves the Nismo GT3. But if you've got a favorite car that you really enjoy from this new download or new pack, let me know. And it's good to hear from you guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in this evening. Thank you for those who have been in the chat and keeping us company, and your comments, and for being here and experiencing this for the first time with me. This is my first time driving these cars. I made sure I didn't drive any of them before the stream, so I can give you a raw reaction. I hope that came across today. But yeah, thank you for your company as always. You are great to have as part of the community here at Sim Racing Bible, and it's all thanks to you guys as to why we are growing as we are. But it's a pleasure to be with you guys every week. We probably won't be streaming tomorrow evening, I don't think, but keep an eye out just in case we do a last-minute New Year's stream. But if we don't do one, have a wonderful New Year. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Make sure you stay well and safe and away from all the nasty bugs which are flying around at the moment here in the UK, if you are. Yeah, that's a really incredible end to the year. And I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who supported Sim Racing Bible throughout the year, and beforehand as well, because without your support, the channel is nothing really. It's just me rambling about cars and getting excited about sim racing. Thank you very much, guys, as ever. But yeah, Happy New Year to you all, and we will see you all on the other side. But until then, take care of yourselves, and it's bye-bye for now.